All right, we're going to do a quick overview of assignment 2.6 using edit modes. To start, you need to open up assignment 2.4, your previous assignment. It should have the MIDI that you had in there last. And if you don't have that available, just make sure to create a new stereo instrument track. You're going to name it Synth. And then on that track, you'll open up a virtual instrument in the plugin window, vacuum, so you'll have this rolling, and then we're all set. The first thing we're going to do in this is in step 2 is we're going to toggle between the modes and move around the MIDI file just to try out and see what it does. Let's start with spot. If we move it, it's going to ask us to put it in a specific location. Well, we could say, what if we wanted to move it to bar 20 beat 1? I'm going to double click on the zoom so I can zoom out to see it. It's way over here now. I'm going to go to my grabber, and using slip, I'm just going to put it back anywhere. Now if I switch to grid, depending on my grid resolution that's listed at the top, we should be able to toggle it, move it between bars. Now if we want to move it to a different bar here or there, we can do that. And lastly, if we go to shuffle and we just pull it left, you'll notice it'll go to the very start of the session. And if we were in shuffle and we wanted to, go in and start deleting stuff, and this is where shuffle grid becomes good. We hold shift to get grid up there engaged, and then if we hit delete, you'll notice it'll shuffle to the left. You don't actually have to do that for this part, but I just want to make sure you see it. In step 3, though, you're actually going to duplicate this track so we can do a few different things with it. To duplicate the track, you're going to hold Control and click on the nameplate. And if you scroll down, you'll see duplicate. In the duplicate tracks dialog window, you're going to type in the number 3, which means we'll duplicate it 3 times. And now all of a sudden you should zoom out and see we have 3 exact copies. From there, what you're going to do is, using the slip mode, we're going to move the first one to bar, the first track here, the first clip, and the grabber. We're going to go to slip, using the grabber. We're going to slide it to bar 3 beat 1. You can see it up here in the ruler up above, and watch the numbers up top. Problem is in slip you're going to see that we're going to have an issue getting very close. We're close, but we're not all the way there. And then in the next step, you're going to use the grid mode to move track 2 to bar 4 beat 1. So we're going to go to grid mode, and we're going to slide track 2 to bar 4 beat 1. Again, we see it in the ruler, bar 4 beat 1. We're going to slide it over, and it should say it right here, 4 1, bar 4 beat 1. From here, in the next step, we're going to use the selector tool and manually highlight and select MIDI 3 from the selection of bar 5 beat 1 to bar 6 beat 1. So what we're going to do in the third track is go to the selector tool, and in bar 5, you can see it right here, on that track, bar 5 to bar 6. So the selection starts at bar 5 and ends at bar 6. If you're having trouble with that, you can click anywhere down in here. As long as you're in grid mode, it'll help. Click anywhere down in here and go into the selection and say, all right, we want the selection to start at bar 5 beat 1, and we want it to end at bar 6 beat 1. You'll notice it'll capture that selection for you. In the next step, we're going to go to shuffle mode and then press delete on the keyboard. You'll notice it shuffles us left. So we should have shuffled left on the timeline with track number 3. Now for track number 4, we're going to select spot mode, go back to the grabber tool. So spot mode, grabber tool, and then we're actually going to maneuver this because we're going to drag the track right. Once we drag it, we'll get a dialog. In the dialog, you will enter bar 14 as a start point, 14, 1, and hit OK. And now we should see that whole thing slide. For this project to be complete, you will hold Shift, Command, 4, do your screenshot of your edit window, and it should look shifted like this. And then you'll submit that to the MLP. And that's it.